is reality? Reality is what we believe to be true about the nature of our surroundings. But how do we come to decide that true nature? Do we conceive it completely on our own? Or do other devices gently sway our thoughts onto a pre-decided path? This is the hard question we must all ask ourselves as free humans on this planet. Who sculpts your reality?
Reality. Hey guys, what's happening tonight?
What's good? It's Wednesday night.
It's another beautiful Wednesday evening. And we're here to show you some things to open your mind to the greater universe.
We're here to bring you the magic.
Also giggle a whole lot about nothing.
Yeah.
So, we got a lot of stuff happening this past week.
This hour of pure slack not brought to you by Nos, but I'm going to drink one anyhow. So shit's good.
I seen this thing floating around. Dan posted it in our group there. It's this story about Marines invading the CIA headquarters in Langley, I guess. Yeah, the story, none of the sources are confirmed. And the source of the story is from the Hal Turner radio show. So,
and who is Hal Turner again, Don?
He's a douche.
But why is he a douche?
He's an agent, alright? He's an agent. Just look it up, Hal Turner. Google his name.
You'll see. CIA, right?
You'll see. No, he was FBI, I think.
So, it's some alphabet soup agency.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
General spookery and such.
So anyway, guys, just be careful what you're looking at.
Yeah, and also, while we're on that note, anything from whatisitmean.com or Sorcha Fall traces back to this jackass named David Booth that just basically makes stuff up. Neon Metal links to him a lot. There was this one thing that we saw that was, what was it, like the Salty Times or something like that. It was, some independent media outlet. But we're just reporting a lot of stuff that is verifiably bullshit.
Just, don't take what you see on the internet at face value. You can't do that.
But why would somebody go on the internet and post lies, Don? Why would they do that?
Oh my God. Shut up, Dan. Now that we've discussed reputable sources, we're going to jump to this article from the Daily Mail. An English tabloid. It's great stuff, though. Yeah.
You guys might remember a while back, if you're coast-to-coast listeners out there, Linda Moulton Howe was talking about mysterious booming sound effects.
Yeah, years ago, man, they were
strange
booms, and the trumpet sounds too.
Yeah.
Now I think a lot of the trumpet sound stuff was just people dicking off on YouTube, messing around, because Phantom Spy even mentioned that he wanted to do something like that. But anyway, these booms are pretty, verifiable, and lots of witnesses. Could be any number of things, but it's strange coincidences. So, what is causing the mysterious booms heard in 64 locations the world this year?
So they got a map down here.
What's pretty interesting is I guess there was another earthquake in Virginia this year.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know. I guess we didn't get that one. What are you doing? God,
showing everybody the map.
We'll get there. I need to see the words. Residents in Alabama were left baffled last week when a loud boom resounded across much of the state. Baffled.
If I were in Alabama and I heard a boom, I would just assume it's rednecks playing with dynamite.
Check it out. This is great. The boom, nicknamed Bama Boom. Bam boom, going behind bam boom, has left experts stumped, with suggested causes ranging from supersonic aircraft to meteors exploding in the atmosphere.
Yeah, you know what I was wondering? What if it's like chunks of antimatter?
Man.
Like annihilating with matter in
what
the
if it's
atmosphere?
like CERN teleporting singularities again.
That'd be fun.
And it's like, alright. So the boom you're hearing is not an explosion, it's an implosion.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time that the mysterious sound has been heard, and incidents are becoming more frequent according to some reports. This year alone, similar noises have been reported 64 times this year. I mean, it's a big planet. I'm sorry, man. It's a big planet, man. You telling me there was only 64 booms heard on this planet this year?
I mean, what about all the booms nobody heard?
If a boom booms in the forest, does it boom?
Yeah. If a boom goes off in the forest and knocks over a bunch of trees and nobody's around to hear it, does the Sierra Club still get pissed?
So, places where booms have been heard in 2017. We zoom in on the U.S., all up and down the coast, up and down the Mississippi River.
Well, I mean, in Newport News you hear booms all the time, but it's usually just people shooting.
And in England. Alabama, November 14th. Cause unknown. Suggested explanations include a sonic boom from an aircraft or a meteorite. See, that's interesting because how many of these booms are being caused by experimental technology? How many of these booms are being caused by off-world visitors? How many of these booms are being caused by tectonic activity?
Yeah, seismic plates shifting around and whatnot.
It was funny, years ago, now probably 10 years ago, there was an earthquake in Virginia. And we down here where we're at felt it.
It knocked over a couple lawn chairs.
And it was centered up there by Mount Weather, I think. So, underground base.
Yeah.
So, there was speculation flying around.
We got a call.
We got a call.
Hey, how about that?
Caller, you're on the air with Don and Dan. How's it going?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I just wanted to say I can hear you guys talking all right, but it sounds like you have some kind of like some digital type of artifacts right on top of your voices. Timing is a little bit off from where I'm what I'm seeing live and what you're broadcasting.
Oh,
yeah, it could be. I don't know if you have a feedback. It sounds almost like digital feedback.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes
Hi.
the buffer overruns.
Yeah, we're kind of a one-stop shop for technical difficulties.
Hopefully it should.
Oh no, I love you guys so much.
Thanks for letting us know.
Well.
You guess what? You did it. Whatever you just did made it go away.
Thanks for
you guys
calling
are
and
awesome.
let us know, because every once in a while the buffer will overrun on the audio interface, and it'll do that. I just got to unplug
Right
it and plug
on.
it back
Yep, you're all set.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
All right, you're welcome.
Have you
Anything
heard
else?
any mysterious booms?
Oh yeah, no, that's great. Mysterious booms. I can't help but think about. I know this is completely unrelated, but the Tunguska fireball incident.
Yeah. It may not be as unrelated as you think. I mean, a lot of these booms could be being caused by meteorite impacts or exploding in the atmosphere or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where we live, we're like right on top of Newport News shipbuilding, and you can actually hear shipyard noise from the neighborhood that I live in. You can hear occasionally like train cars moving or stuff clanking around or pylons being driven into the seafloor or whatever.
Well, yeah, so it's hard to know what it could be, and people need to be able to get recordings of all of these things and then compare notes from the recordings.
There are some recordings out there. Unfortunately, I didn't queue any of them up for tonight, but yeah, they're out there. So you guys listening,
no, that's awesome.
You want to search it on YouTube or something, I'm sure you can find plenty of recordings.
I feel like over the past year I've seen a few of these things on YouTube where you can hear it's like this enormous creaking in the sky or like it almost sounds like really low-pitched brass.
Yeah,
sounds
the
like
trumpet soundings.
Well, something else? They say that the Aurora Borealis put off a sound. So I'm wondering, what if it's some kind of electromagnetic phenomenon in the upper atmosphere?
I think that would be more like.
Me.
I think that's more like a harmonic resonance type
well,
sound.
Well, no, the trumpet thing though.
Right, that would be like a harmonic resonance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. Now I have more things to Google.
The rabbit hole never stops here at Reality Brief.
Oh, I'm here. I'm in for the rabbit hole, man. I'm telling you.
Well, thanks for calling, and you got anything else before you go?
Yeah, no, I really just I really wanted to just make sure that you were getting the message so that you could get it clear so everybody can, continue to enjoy your show.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You got people on some of us were in the live chat kind of discussing it, but the other people didn't have the phone number, couldn't call the phone number, but I could, so I I took one for the team. No, just kidding.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it's hard for us to monitor all the chat sometimes because we're going out on
of course.
multiple. Well,
no, you're multitasking and you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, so where were we now? Alabama. The Bama boom. The Birmingham National Weather Service tweeted, "Loud boom heard. We do not see anything indicating large fire smoke on radar or satellite. Nothing on USGS indicating an earthquake. Service suggested that the sound was either caused by a sonic boom from an aircraft or a meteorite from the Leonid shower. But NASA has since cast doubt on these explanations. Speaking to ABC 3340,
never a straight answer.
Bill Cook, head of NASA's Meteoroid Environment Office, said that the boom could have been caused by a supersonic aircraft, a ground explosion, or a bolide, a large meteor that explodes in the atmosphere unrelated to the Leonid shower. Now, I want to say,
somebody's still blowing up.
I lived out near plenty of Air Force bases, and this one city in particular, these guys would just boom right over it, right? And it's loud as fuck, but it seems to me that what this Alabama is reported over like a large area, so sonic boom is loud, but it's not going to go over that large of an area.
See, that's why I'm thinking of some sort of atmospheric phenomenon.
So, while the noise was picked up by the U.S. Geological Survey, data suggests that the boom wasn't the result of an earthquake. Boom may have been caused by a military... Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Bama boom is one mysterious boom.
Okay, so there's another one in Idaho.
On the 15th. So, the 15th of November, and this one was on the 14th.
Cairns, Australia, October 10th. Queensland.
Oh, yeah, they're saying a sonic boom. Okay. Now, how much of this is... They're listing, what could they be? Sonic booms, right? Which those are loud as fuck. Like, for real. But you're just, a small area of a city. It's not like half the state. You know what I mean? You're not going to hear it. Unless it's some kind of super deep black experimental time warp wormhole fucking shit. You know what I mean? Military exercises. Military exercises.
One in Lapland, and the one in Lapland, they knew it was a meteor.
Okay, now, controlled explosions, you would think that would be a matter of public record or something, and then there would definitely be seismic record of a controlled explosion.
Here's an idea. What if solar activity, what if it's like chunks of hot gas being ejected from the sun that come into Earth's atmosphere, come down, cause a huge pocket of low-density air, and then when it dissipates, it collapses, and the air collapsing in on itself causes a boom sound.
Yeah. Unusual weather. Meteors. Sound amplified from aircraft and aliens.
Of course, aliens.
Aliens. You always got to have aliens. I mean,
yeah, maybe it's somebody going to warp in our atmosphere.
I think some of it can definitely be attributed to, experimental aircraft.
To me, I mean, meteorites are, atmospheric phenomenon does it for me.
They got all these supersonic fucking things, like, I'll get to the, other side of the planet in 5 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they're always talking about this new propulsion system they got, but nobody can actually drive it. It has to be a drone because it would kill you. It's so fast. We talked about it on the show, man.
Yeah.
So, they got to be testing this shit somewhere, right?
Yeah. Stands to reason.
So, that being said, this is a pretty long article, so what we can do is just go through spots that's been reported. Michigan, Damascus.
One of them's actually confirmed. It says here it's confirmed. They got like a whole laundry list of these mystery booms in 2017.
Booms. So the one in Damascus, they say, is caused by airstrikes.
Oh, I'm sure in Syria you hear booms all the time.
Yeah,
Come on.
The one in Lapland caused by a meteor. Then we got Idaho, Alabama, Tennessee, Oregon, Minnesota, New Jersey, and San Diego.
May 7th, Florida, caused by secret military mission.
And then there's the one that kind of is interesting for me because it's Virginia, for one, so it's where we're at. I definitely did not hear it. But they're saying it was caused by an earthquake. And I don't remember an earthquake this year, do you?
Yeah, actually, I think I do remember there was a report of a very small earthquake.
Okay.
I do recall that.
Well, that would make sense then.
Cool.
Yep, so if you guys want to... Where's that at, Dan?
That was dailymail.co.uk. And just look up Mysterious Boom 64 times. It'll come up.
Man, you know how lately we've been...
We'll share it on the Facebook page.
You know how lately we've been seeing a lot of the rectangle UFO sightings?
Yeah.
Man, we've got another one. This one happened in Scotland, I think.
Scotland, eh?
Let's check it out. Close encounter. Stunned Scots driver spots 2 strange rectangular UFOs over A9 near Dunblane. So a motorist has gone into great detail of their weird encounter with objects in the Scottish sky, and it's latest in a spate of UFO sightings spotted all over the country and added to the UFO hunter website MUFON. And interestingly enough, there's been a spate in the U.S. too. Activity picking up. We'll get to that a little later. A stunned Scots driver has described how they spotted 2 strange rectangular UFOs in the sky above Scotland. The motorist has gone into great detail with the bright light. So I guess it's a bright glowing. I hate the way they write these articles, man. They posted the sighting on a popular UFO hunting website, MUFON. The shock driver reported seeing the 2 rectangular shapes right next to each other around 7:55 on October 5th in the skies above Glasgow. So this was October 5th, so this would place it right around those other rectangle sightings.
So yeah, I wonder if this has anything to do with the booms too, because what if if we correlate UFO sightings? Well, not saying correlation equals causation, but
according to Michael Sala on his website, he claims that they're an Air Force weapons platform. The rectangles.
Mm-hmm.
It was the evening of the 5th of October, 2017, just before 8 p.m. We were driving north on the A9 from Stirling towards Perth in Scotland, UK. It had been raining but was dry at the time of the sighting. There was some dark cloud cover, but breaks in the cloud and a full moon visible, very bright. The sighting happened at 19:55. It was a brief event, over a matter of seconds. I noticed a bright white light in the sky above while I was looking at the full moon. Initially, I didn't think it was anything in particular, just that it was a bright light. The sighting consisted of 3 bright flashes, moving from right to left, and the entire event was over very quickly in about 3 seconds. The object, or light, was composed of 2 rectangular shapes right next to each other. The object flashed once to the right, once above, and once slightly to the left in a shallow V-shaped pattern. It left the impression of an object moving almost instantaneously in time from one location to the next. That's some pretty heavy spec right there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I felt excited in that I was witnessing something strange, unusual, and unexplained. The words UFO sprang to mind, even if just because it was unexplainable. Well, that would be the definition of UFO, right? It doesn't mean it's alien. It was too fast to be any kind of aircraft, such as a plane or helicopter. It was too low, too large, too bright, moving way too fast to be a star or ISIS. Or ISS. Sorry.
ISIS.
I always do that. Its movements were quick, flashes of light, appearing in different parts of the sky in quick succession, traveling on a path. There did not appear to be any trails. I lost sight of the object because it appeared to go behind a cloud cover and did not reappear after the 3rd flash. MUFON states on its website that its mission is to investigate blah, 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 blah. We know what MUFON is. Moving on. Let's see. Where's the video?
Oh, there's a video?
No, there's
there's
nothing.
No video.
My bad, guys. I thought there was a video.
But
we got a video of this one.
You got videos, huh?
We got a video, dude. That's how we roll.
We got videos.
That's how we roll. Watch! UFO hurtles through sky above Heathrow Airport. This one's another one from over there in Europe land. The astonishing moment, a mysterious bright object hurtled through the sky above Heathrow Airport. Stunning footage films the sky above London Airport before the flash of light whizzes past. It came just seconds before a large jet landing at the airport comes into view, and it has not yet been determined what the mystery sighting is. But it was believed the object is either a meteor or another type of space debris, which absolutely could be the case. Here's a still. Looks like a white light. So, without further ado, let's check out this mystery object.
Wee.
Yeah, that looked like space junk, man. Didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like something burning up.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, wait, is there more?
That's a lens flare right there.
What, that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Zoom and whoosh.
slow-mo meteor. Looks like a piece of debris to me.
Yeah.
I guess, since I'm a qualified expert.
Mm-hmm. As long as we've been doing this, I think that does probably make us experts.
Well, I mean, how can we be experts? We still ain't got no goddamn answers for as long as we've been doing this.
No, that's not. But that's not what makes you an expert, though. What makes you an expert is asking the right question.
We're experts about not knowing jack shit about nothing. Let's see what's going on in Ohio.
Yeah,
that sounds like a pretty lame place, I think, man. Ohio. So there'll be a lot of sky watching going out there. So in Ohio, I spotted a UFO with 3 lights. Count them: 1, 2, 3 lights, not 2 lights, not 4 lights.
I've seen one of those.
Resident of Springfield, Ohio, USA, reported that he saw a UFO of great size, which glowed with bright light. Also, the witness reported that an alien spaceship had clearly 3 distinguishable bright fires. The American said that he had noticed the sky. Strange lights when on the highway almost reached the city. Oh my God, I can't even do this, dude. These photos were sent to the experts. How did this make it past? God, we're terrible at our jobs, guys.
Yeah, we really are.
You really ought to fire. Just turn it off.
Dude, hey, who shit posted that, huh?
What's this one? This has got to do with NASA? We love NASA.
No.
Aliens may already be on Earth following space collisions.
That's the concrete evidence. That's the vital thing.
Did you have the vital thing? So let's just think about this for a minute. Of course, aliens may already be on Earth. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Well, if they weren't, we wouldn't have a show.
Exactly, man. We'd be talking about what? Pop culture?
Yeah.
Making silly jokes?
Wrestling, probably.
So basically, just what we do.
Probably wrestling.
So aliens may already be on Earth following space collisions. So what is this space collisions? I guess we'll find out. Expert made the bold statement after they discovered interplanetary dust, which is expelled from space rocks smashing into each other, can travel through space about 43 miles an hour.
Yeah, we know this. We've talked about how that's why they need to find some way to deflect stuff. Yeah, they actually need a deflector dish like they have on Star Trek.
Right. Otherwise,
if a grain of sand hits you at 10,000 miles an hour, you're still fucked.
Oh, you're done, dude. You're done. Anyway, moving on with this article, this great piece of journalism here. Microscopic critters called tardigrades, our buddies the tardigrade, are capable of surviving the impact of space collisions, as well as plummeting great distances. So essentially what they're saying is the galaxy is seeded by shit hitting each other randomly like a pool table.
Mm-hmm. Because the only truth is chaos. In space, nobody can hear your shit smacking to other shit.
To the point of the headline, I mean, we've got all types of fucking crazy-ass theories running around. Reptilian shape-shifting, reptilian queen, you name it, right?
Space Nazis.
But
that's my favorite.
Take a look at ancient aliens, all right? Puffy McFlapstacks, whatever. But there is a lot of evidence showing some type of fucking high strangeness happening in the distant past. This shit's been going on for a long time. The Nazca mummies, man. I haven't seen any, refutation of that other than people saying it's a hoax, but like no.
Yo, they say straight
reason.
up that the Nazca mummies really actually gets my attention because those things, like, they say that a sizable chunk of its DNA like isn't human.
Dude, I mean, it's incredible, and it's obvious, and people are starting to figure it out.
And they can't identify what the fuck it is because it's not like anything else on Earth.
And it was two separate species in the Nazca mummies, with the Nazca mummies. Two separate species. One reptilian, and one kind of looked like a turtle, little turtleneck. Anyway, you guys probably remember that. We got in trouble for playing that for you.
Yeah.
We got yelled at by Gaia.
The risks we take for you, our dear sweet audience.
They blocked our whole fucking shit. It was like, you're done. Don't talk about it. Won't be nothing.
They were all... YouTube was all like... able to...
Now, this one was pretty interesting here. Plane struck by lightning seconds after alien UFO appears. In shock video. Totally clickbait. Love it. Alien hunters have claimed this video shows the moment a flying saucer was caught buzzing over an airport moments before a plane was struck by bolts of lightning. Interesting. Let's start this over here. Could be a drone, right? It looks like it's close. It doesn't look like it's far away. Oh yeah, I got it muted.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Nature. No, quit talking, guy. Man, it looked like it could be a drone. What do you think, man? Did you get a good look at it?
No.
Well, this guy's there now, so we can't look at it no more.
Oh.
So, here it is there. It basically is that, just flying across the stream. Without enhancing it and stuff.
Could be a drone.
I didn't see any kind of...
Could be a bird.
That's another thing you need to...
a bunch of different things.
That's another thing you need to kind of think about when you're looking at this stuff. Does it do any kind of extreme maneuver? Or does it just streak across the sky? Not saying that some type of, deep black experimental craft or whatever craft may be in service, or even an ET craft, wouldn't just go in a straight line. But, I mean, it's a telltale thing, man. You got to look for, like, for me to be, like, consider it beyond, it's a drone. It has to do something interesting for me. You know what I mean? Like, this to me is just... Even if it is something, there's no way in hell that you could prove it because it looks like a drone.
Yeah. Could be a drone. It could be, sure. Could it be an alien probe? Who knows?
I mean, the lightning, it's interesting. I mean, it could very well just be a coincidence, though. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem too outlandish. But see, now, one thing about it, too, though. Don't they, like, freak out when you fly drones around airports?
Yeah, they do. They shit their pants.
So, I mean, there's one thing there. So, I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, so if we could backtrack for just a sec, because there's something we kind of skipped over.
What was that?
About that, that one article that we were talking about...
the space debris?
Yeah. There was something kind of relevant at the bottom. They said that earlier this month, the Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence Group beamed a series of signals towards the GJ273 system, 12 light years away, where aliens might receive it in just over a decade if they exist. That means if there happens to be technologically advanced life dwelling on those planets, their signals could make it back here as soon as 2042.
I would put forth that if there was technologically advanced life on that planet, they probably already know we're here.
Yeah, well, it depends on how.
Well, I mean, I guess if they're as advanced as us or lower, then maybe not. But
if they have radio, but it says China is hot on the heels of any organization attempting to contact aliens after they pump millions into their space program. The Asian powerhouse has created the world's largest radio dish that will beam messages to distant solar systems in the hope it will be the first nation on Earth to contact ETs.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. China is definitely ramping up their space program. Speaking of ramping up space programs, we got something new news about Russia and the moon. I think they're getting ready to start, what, mining?
Yeah, there was some talk of Russia mining the moon. Which, hey, you know, about time. Somebody is.
Vlad's, I wonder how this is going to work, man. If there's bases on the moon, how the hell is this going to work, man? Vlad over the moon. Russia unveils 30 million pound plans to start mining on the moon. The module will land in the Bogoslavsky. Bogoslavsky. Yeah, it's bogus. Crater in the South Pole and begin drilling. So, after more than 40 years since it was last carried out its lunar mission, Moscow is plowing 30 million pounds into building a new spaceship bound for a satellite. Russia leader Putin has instructed his space chiefs to make the first landing on the moon within 15 years. Oh. As part of this drive, Luna 25, formerly known as Luna Glob, automated probe. Luna Glob, like automated probe.
It sounds like a euphemism for something.
Will be sent to explore the moon's south pole. The module will land in the Bogoslavsky crater in the South Pole and begin drilling. The last Soviet lunar mission was in '76 when the Luna 24 probe made a soft landing, collecting soil samples before returning to Earth. There's Putin looking at the sky, looking at the sun. Check me out. I don't even need clips glasses. So down there, so that's like towards the tip of that geometric pattern, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how is this going to work, I wonder, man? How's it going to go over if everybody just starts mining the moon with all these different breakaway societies and shit?
Well, I guess, you know, you'll have your confirmation there, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Depends on how open these programs for mining and exploration of the moon are.
Oh, I mean, anyway,
I don't trust the Russian government to fucking say any truth.
No, of course not. But, you'd be able to see the shit up there if it's going on.
Yeah, I mean, well, this stuff on this, I'm talking about deep black stuff, man.
Yeah.
How is it going to work with these teams? I mean, is it going to be a strict... Because we've got all this private entrepreneurs dying to get into space, start mining asteroids, start mining the moon and all that shit. You think they're going to bring them in?
I think we ought to do it remotely. I think we ought to do it with robots.
And, they have been talking about that, too, a lot, man. That's why they got Fedov.
Mm-hmm.
He was a space robot.
Yeah, there's a picture of him right there.
Oh, yeah.
There's your boy.
Oh, yeah, look at this.
Oh, no, Fedov is flying.
The spacecraft will be gathering and transmitting information from the landing station, but no cosmonauts. I guess that's how they get around it, then. There's nobody out there to see the shit going on. It's just some robots minding their own business, digging up fucking hydrogen, right?
Oh.
Or no, helium, my bad. Instead, there will be an automated space station directing an unmanned spacecraft.
Cyber cosmonaut.
As previously reported, a cyber cosmonaut will be sent ahead of tackling more ambitious tasks on the lunar landscape. Man, how awesome would it be if, like, say, a group like Anonymous or something, like, hacked into the fucking video feed of these robots and, like, broadcast that shit out.
That'd
all
be
these
some
crazy-ass spaceships flying around and shit.
It goes on, a key task for Fedor will be to assist in construction and use of bases on Moon and potentially other planets, said its Russian designers. The mission will mark the return of Russia to being a space power at a time when its military adventures are also mirroring the Cold War days. The two superpowers are locked in an arms race, analysts warned, meaning a conflict is likely in the future unless both sides reach an agreement over the militarization of space. Didn't we sign a whole bunch of treaties about that, like the SALT and SALT II treaties?
Yeah, I think so.
Meanwhile, rocket technology is threatening peace on terra firma. U.S. military chiefs are ignoring a landmark weapons ban after discovering Russia was flouting rules on developing ground-based cruise missiles, it's claimed. Short-range missiles that could strike within 310 to 3,420 miles were banned during the height of the Cold War tension. So Russia's been doing rocket stuff. Big surprise.
Well, I mean, it just goes back to what we've been talking about this whole time, man. We got these treaties.
Russia does 60% of the world's commercial space launches. I mean, who the fuck is going to tell them what to do with some rockets? You know what I mean?
Right, man. And now we've got the Space Command ramping up for, out in the open space warfare. How's this shit gonna work, man?
I don't know.
Well, we're either gonna be like just fucking dumbfounded or really disappointed. One of the two, man.
So last week we told you guys about what was it? UI 2017, and a mysterious object that had come hurtling out of interstellar space and used our sun basically as a gravity assist. So they've actually come up with a name for it now, and they're referring to it as Oumuamua. It's Earth's first recorded interstellar visitor.
It's the Destiny from Stargate.
Well, it looks like a solar warden ship. It's all long and pokey. In October, scientists using the University of Hawaii's Pan-STARRS telescope cited something extraordinary. Earth's first confirmed interstellar visitor. Originally called A2017 UI, the once mysterious object has a new name, Oumuamua, according to Scientific American. And researchers continue to learn more about its physical properties. Now, a team from University of Hawaii's Institute of Astronomy has published a paper on what they know so far in Nature. Oumuamua is Hawaiian for a messenger arriving afar first, or a messenger from afar arriving first. Oumuamua's astrological destination is 1I 27/2017 UI. Stands for interstellar, or the I in there stands for interstellar. Until now, objects similar to Oumuamua were given C and A names, which would stand either for comet or asteroid. New observations have researchers concluding that Oumuamua is unusual for more than its far-flung origins. It's cigar-shaped. It's this object 10 times longer than it is wide, stretching to half a mile long. It's also reddish in color, and similar in some ways to some asteroids in our solar system, the BBC reports, but it's much faster, zipping through our solar system, and has a totally different orbit of any of those objects.
So what are they saying? It's made out of
Stone.
Stone. Oh, we got a call coming in.
Yep.
Caller, you're live on the air with Don and Dan.
How's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
You
All right.
talk to
Well,
us?
better luck next time, caller.
Hey, try again.
So, after initial decisions about whether or not the object was a comet or an asteroid, researchers now believe it's an asteroid. Long ago, it might have hurtled from an unknown star system into our own.
So, who's saying what it's made out of?
They're getting into that here. They say it may provide astronomers with new insights into how stars and planets form. 750,000 asteroids we know of are leftovers from the formation of our solar system, trapped by the sun's gravity. But what if billions and billions of years ago other objects escaped? Oumuamua shows us that it's possible there are bits and pieces from the early years of our solar system currently visiting other stars. They say it's surprising that Oumuamua is an asteroid instead of a comet, given that the Oort cloud, an icy bubble of debris thought to surround our solar system. Comets are predicted to outnumber asteroids 200 to 1, and perhaps even as high as 10,000 to 1. And if we take our own solar system as any indication, it's more likely that a comet would take off before an asteroid would. So where did this thing come from? They still don't know. But it's possible it could have been bumped into our realm by a close encounter with a planet, either a larger or smaller or nearby one.
It just, the shape, it strikes me as odd. Like, you
yeah,
wouldn't
that's
think
why I want to think maybe it's a ship.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a...
We got some pictures if you scroll down.
Yeah, I've been showing them. I already showed them. Yeah, this is the data breakdowns, I guess. Yeah, I mean, quarter mile long, twice as long as it is wide. How does a rock get that shape, man? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because, yeah, usually anything in space, I mean, there are a few, like, oddly shaped asteroids. Like, there's this dumbbell-shaped one, I think it's Eros, and it kind of looks like two like balls stuck together like that on the end. And you got your little lumpy potato-shaped asteroids, but a big long pokey thing like that's kind of weird.
This is why I'm concerned about who is reporting that it's made out of stone. You know what I mean? Like, cause is it a trustworthy source, or is it like NASA saying it's a big rock?
Nobody fucking knows. You happy?
Somebody out there fucking knows. It's people, man.
Well, if they're saying it's an asteroid, then that means it's probably mostly rock.
Right.
As opposed to a comet, which is mostly
But, I mean,
ice.
why are they saying it's an asteroid? Who determined that it's an asteroid?
How do they know it's reddish in color?
Exactly. Well, they got a picture of this thing they're not showing us? Probably. It's reddish in color because it just got off of Mars. All right, where are we at?
Yeah. So we got some pictures at the bottom that they kind of tell you a little bit about what it is, but this has a color image. I see mostly streaky lights from stars passing, and then just like a little fuzzy, potatoey blob in the middle. It's like, what the hell is that?
That's what I'm saying. It's just like rendering based on data or something.
I guess, yeah.
So anyway, moving along to some depressing, deep, dark news. We all remember Fukushima, right?
Of course.
All right, 6 years
Power
later.
plant in Japan melted down in case you've been, sealed in a deep underground military base for the past 6 years.
6 years later, still dumping out radioactivity, but they finally found the melted fuel. So the Japanese government and companies used radiation-hardened machines to search for the fuel that escaped the plant's ruined reactors. So what the hell are they going to do with it, man? I mean, can they get it out at this point?
They say they're going to recycle it.
4 engineers hunched before a bank of monitors, one holding what looked like a game controller. They had spent a month training for what they were about to do. Pilot a small robot into the contaminated heart of the ruined Fukushima nuclear plant. Earlier robots had failed, getting caught on debris or suffering circuit malfunctions from excess radiation. But the newer version, called the Mini Manball, or Little Sunfish for us ignorant Americans, was made of radiation-hardened materials with a sensor to help it avoid dangerous hotspots in the plant's flooded reactor buildings. My question is, why the fuck are they just now 6 years later doing this? You know what I mean? Like, I understand you had some failures, but you'd think it would be a high priority of the Japanese government to fund this and get this shit taken care of.
Well, just because the government funds something doesn't mean that it's going to magically happen overnight.
Yeah, but dude,
this is new technology. Maybe they had to develop new technology to be radiation resistant enough. And actually, that's one of the cool things that I think
guess is possible. But 6 years, dude, like, they have something in deep black programs to go in there and get this shit, right?
I guess.
I mean, you would suspect if we're 50 years ahead in technology and and understanding of physics, you would suspect they'd be able to deal with this on a quick note. So they don't give a fuck, dude. And
I mean, a breakaway civilization's a breakaway civilization. They done broke away.
Yeah, but then you have factions that haven't actually broken away, like the ICC. The ICC isn't a breakaway civilization, man. They still manipulate shit on Earth. Well, according to the people who say they're involved with the shit. I don't know. I don't have any first-hand experience. This shit isn't written down in a book somewhere. It's not in the newspaper. You guys see what I'm getting at here, though.
So, what's it? There's actually, there should be the video of this.
So this thing is the size of a shoebox. So they've only located it, and they're not going to be getting it anytime soon.
They say, after 3 days of carefully navigating through a shattered reactor building, the Manbo finally reached the heavily damaged Unit 3 reactor. There, the robot beamed back video of a gaping hole in the bottom of the reactor, and on the floor beneath it, clumps of what looked like solidified lava. These are the first images ever taken of the plant's melted uranium fuel. The discovery in July at Unit 3 and similar successes this year in locating the fuel of the plant's other 2 ruined reactors mark what Japanese officials hope will prove to be a turning point in the worst atomic disaster since Chernobyl. The fate of the fuel had been one of the most enduring mysteries of the catastrophe, which happened on March 11, 2011. Earthquake, 50-foot tsunami knocked out vital cooling systems here at the plant, and boom. So, left to overheat, 3 of the 6 reactors melted down. The uranium fuel rods liquefied like candle wax, and they dripped through the bottom of the reactor vessels in a molten mass hot enough to burn through the steel walls and even penetrate through the concrete floors below. No one knows exactly how far these molten cores had traveled before desperate plant workers, later known as the Fukushima 50, were able to cool them down by pumping water into the reactor buildings. With radiation levels so high, the fate of the fuel remained unknown.
So it brings the question, the way they ignore shit and shit just gets forgotten, how much oil is still floating around in the Gulf? You know what I mean? Are there still tar balls washing up on the shores?
I don't know. If you live in a Gulf state, you should call in and tell us.
Get out of here with that, man.
I want to show that video.
No, we're not showing that video.
We can't show that video?
No, we're not showing that video. Dan, stop it. Stop it, Dan.
All right. But yeah, look at that. You see all that yellow shit? That's uranium.
Wow. That's yellow cake, son.
Yep. And look at all the bits of it floating around in the water. Like, that water's got to be just nuclear as fuck, like.
Dude, imagine, because this is just dumping off into the ocean, man. Imagine what the fuck this has done. I've seen those breakdowns of the radiation in the water and shit. It was at the coast, the West Coast, a long time ago. I'm surprised we're not seeing super gigantic fish kills, you know what I mean? Like, still. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe there are, but it's just not getting reported on.
Yeah, you see all those little pellets?
Mm.
All those little balls? That's fucking melted uranium.
Uranium. Holy years.
Shit.
6 years.
This stuff's
just been chilling. Just chilling. Just spewing it, man.
What you gonna do?
I don't like it. I don't like it not one bit.
Well, as officials became more confident about managing the disaster, they began to search for the missing fuel. Scientists and engineers built radiation-resistant robots like the Manbo and a device like a huge X-ray machine that uses exotic space particles called muons to see the reactor's innards.
Muon.
Now that engineers say that they've found the fuel, it took I'm with you on that. It blows my fucking mind that it took them 6 years
to find the fucking fuel. That's bullshit, man.
Officials of the government and the utility that runs the plant hope to sway public opinion. 6.5 years after the accident spewed radiation over northern Japan, and at one point seemed to endanger Tokyo, the officials hope to persuade a skeptical world that the plant has moved out of the post-disaster crisis mode and into something much less threatening, cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
Until now, we didn't know exactly where the fuel was or what it looked like, said Takahiro Kimoto, general manager in the nuclear power division of the plant's operator, Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO. Now that we've seen it, we can make plans to retrieve it. TEPCO is keen to portray the plant as one big industrial cleanup site. About 7,000 people work here building new water storage tanks, moving radioactive debris to a new disposal site, and erecting enormous scaffoldings over reactor buildings torn apart by the huge hydrogen explosions that occurred during the accident. Access to the plant is easier than it was just a year ago, when the visitors still had to change into special protective clothing. These days, workers and visitors can move about all but the most dangerous areas in street clothes. And so they got some pictures here of, what's left.
A while back, I got sucked into one of those stupid, you know how, like, you go scroll through your feed in Facebook or something, it's like, 12 things this, 24 that. Well, I got sucked into one that was all these pictures where these people snuck into Fukushima, not the plant, but the town, and took pictures of everything. It was crazy, all the shit overgrown everywhere, cars just in place, it was fucking nuts, man. You guys might have saw that out there, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But, on a positive note,
they say the Manbo took 3 days to travel some 20 feet to the bottom of Unit 3. To examine the other reactors, engineers built a snake robot that could thread its way through wreckage.
Manbo.
And the imaging device using muons, which can pass through most matter. The muon devices projected a crude, ghostly image of the reactor's interiors. Extracting the melted fuel will present its own set of technical challenges and risks. Engineers are developing new radiation-resistant robots at the Naraha Remote Technology Development Center. It includes a hangar-sized building to hold, full-scale mock-ups of the plant, and a virtual reality room that simulates the interiors of the reactor buildings, including the locations of known debris.
Question. What's more radioactive? That debris or cosmic rays?
Definitely that debris.
Even out past the EM field. I'm talking about like deep space cosmic rays.
Yeah, I would still say definitely that fuel.
All right. So moving on to a more positive note, you guys remember the computer? We talked about that a while back. It's basically, I think it was BAF Systems. They got this vat, and they're growing robots in this vat with this liquid. It's fucking incredible. But anyway, we found this. Scientists have created programmable shape-shifting liquid metal.
Hooray, programmable matter.
Researchers at the University of Sussex and Swansea University have applied electrical charges to manipulate liquid metal into 2D shapes such as letters and a heart.
Aww.
The team says the findings represent an extremely promising new class of materials that can be programmed to seamlessly change shape. This opens up new possibilities in soft robotics and shape-changing displays. While invention may bring to mind the film Terminator 2, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want the T-1000? Because this is how you get the T-1000.
In which the villain morphs out of a pool of liquid metal. The creation of 3D shapes is still some way off. More immediate applications could include reprogrammable circuit boards and conductive ink. Wow, that would be pretty bad, man. Or pretty awesome, rad, whatever. You got a circuit board and you can program in the traces with this metal. You just put the metal in there and then you apply the current to it and it makes the traces on the board for you. That'd be awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm. Like you tell it, I need this to be a board for a Super Nintendo. I need this to be a board for a keyboard.
Yeah, whatever.
Or a microwave or whatever.
Or you can just design something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just program it in.
Yutaka Tukata, the research associate working on this project at the University of Sussex, says, "This is a new class of programmable materials in a liquid state which can dynamically transform from a single droplet shape to many other complex geometry in a controllable manner." While this work is in its early stages, the compelling evidence of the detailed 2D control of liquid metals excites us to explore more potential applications in the computer graphics, smart electronics, soft robotics, and flexible displays. Okay, let's think for a minute. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of the military-industrial complex. How have we weaponized this? This soft metal, programmable metal, liquid metal.
Into weapons?
How have we weaponized this? What did the military use this for?
Mind Wet Prime? For real, what?
I don't know. I'm asking the question, man. Let's take a look at the video. I mean, think about it. This is some pretty advanced shit. It's probably been around already through DARPA, I'm sure.
Some application in, missile technology or something.
I mean, the circuit board angle, man.
Make a better tracking device.
How would that make a better tracking device?
Or, guidance system, I don't know.
Liquid metal deforms the shape. That's pretty interesting. They're doing that via an electrical charge.
It's pretty rad.
T-1000 is coming, dude. It's coming. It's coming. The T-1000. So, electric fields use the shape of the liquid are created by a computer, meaning that the position and shape of the liquid metal can be programmed and controlled dynamically. Professor Subramaniam.
Steve Brown.
Steve Brown, head of the Interact Lab at the University of Sussex, says liquid metals are an extremely promising class of materials for deformable applications. Their unique properties include voltage-controlled surface tension, high liquid state conductivity, and liquid-solid phase transition at room temperature. That's pretty fucking crazy, man. This is rad, dude. Imagine when they could start doing this with other shit. Just, you know what I mean? Like Star Trek replicator shit, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully it doesn't turn into Stargate replicator shit.
No, that would suck.
That would be really bad.
But who knows, man, the way shit goes. So, right now, though, guys, we do need a quick jump to a break. I need to gather my thoughts here. I gotta get my shit together, you know what I mean? But we will be back shortly. And what do we got, Dan?
We got Asgardia, the world's first space nation, making their first little baby steps. We got Amazon's web services doing all sorts of secret stuff with the CIA. We got more UFOs. We're not done with those. And we, maybe even have a head transplant or two and some big weird clouds of cyanide ice.
Say what?
Yeah.
Cyanide ice?
Cyanide ice clouds. There you go. That's a band name right there.
That's incredible.
What was the band name with the...
Thought they would look to us stars beneath us. If I'd known, I'd save the heartache for another life. If I'd known, I'd make the promise to myself. If I'd known, I'd see the fire for what it really was. If I'd known. Daughter of Saturn, virgin mother of virtue, villainous animals will seek out and hurt you, distort you and twist you and misrepresent you. Your elegant innocence has transformed you into a definite target of manipulations and greedy ravagings that blunder your purity, spoil your seed, shadow you under scrutiny, or hide you entirely from consensus reality. Veritas, one and only. Veritas, our own. Veritas, we will find you. We will know you. We will own you. Seeking her endlessly, she's ever elusive. Further and further now, your source gets diluted, and the well is always deeper. How deep can you dive? How deep is your need to stare the truth in the eye? The truth is that you hide from her. You are vulnerable as you lied to yourself. You are pitiable as you do. Veritas, one and only. Veritas, our own. Veritas, we will find you. We will know you. We will own you. Veritas will
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hour 2, the hour of power. It's time to go into maximum overdrive and watch us fall asleep live on the internet. Great entertainment. Guys, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, you can give us a like on Facebook, check out our YouTube channel, Twitter.
Tell your friends.
So we got all these things to click on. And, you can click on them and you'll see things and you'll read things and you'll hear things. Kind of like this.
If you're really all about this, if you love what we do, check out our Patreon. Consider, it's Thanksgiving. Be thankful that we're here and we can entertain you.
I'm thankful we're here.
Yeah, maybe think about giving us $1.
So, speaking of giving us $1, we got this crazy idea that we borrowed from our buddies over at the Good Morning You Drunk show. And, we're in desperate need of a computer upgrade. So, I've been trying to get the money together, but unfortunately, life keeps throwing me curveballs. The universe shits on me repeatedly. So, that being said, we are going to do a 12-hour broadcast.
Yes.
We're going to do a 12-hour broadcast and hopefully maybe raise a few bucks to help us get this computer upgrade we need. And it's going to be jam-packed full of guests, co-hosts, you name it. It's going to be great, and it's going to go on and on and on and on forever.
It will never end.
No, I really doubt.
12 hours solid.
I really doubt.
Of Reality Brief.
You're going to watch the whole thing.
Nobody's going to watch the entire thing.
The point is, it's going to get out there, and with your help on social media and the like, it'll really get out there, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get them damn upgrades so we can have multiple video guests on at once. It'll be fucking great. Anyway.
And, of course, we love it when you guys share our links. Zuckerberg just gave us the pee-pee smack, so I can't share in groups for another week on my main account.
Dan gets zucked repeatedly.
Zuckerberg hates me.
He does, man.
Like, with a passion.
So,
man, the bitch
recently,
knows me.
Dan, there's this guy running around, and I can't even remember the dude's name now. It's just and he's so ridiculous. He claims that him and his Federation buddies,
like
whichever
Trek
one,
Federation?
I don't know, Light Council,
the Articles Confederacy, which Confederation are we talking about?
They went ahead and just destroyed Darkfleet.
They did.
Oh yeah, totally, man. Dude said,
how? With what?
I don't know, but apparently they're like 99.897865% destroyed.
Wow.
And it's pretty fucking amazing to me.
Well, if you happen to be a member of Darkfleet and want to refute that, go ahead and give us a call at 757-528-8130.
There's some kooky bastards out there, man. And I feel bad for people that get sucked into that shit, because look, there's some wild stories out there, but then there's some total ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Eventually we cross the line from, hey, this could really be happening, to...
Apparently this guy's been running around stepping on toes and shit and pissing people off and talking shit. I mean, it's typical, man. You see it all the time, especially with these New Ager types, man. My crystal's bigger than your crystal. Yeah, man. Thomas says he refutes that. Hey, speaking of which, since you're there, what's your take on the red-colored ship? I mean, does that line up with anything that you remember?
Oumuamua and having a reddish color.
Because I remember you said that you had served on, what was it, a half-mile or a quarter-mile ship? I wonder if that's got any lineup. Yeah, if you got anything on that, just go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Tomas.
Yeah, if anybody happens to know anything that we don't know about Oumuamua.
Which is probably quite a lot, so... Don't call us all at once. I can't handle it. Anyway,
melt those switchboards, guys. Melt the switchboards.
So, you guys, we were talking about Asgardia. You remember the first space nation where they were taking applications for citizenship and all that, and they got this big, giant plans for a satellite station with plants and shit in it. Anyway, they're back in the news, so they're finally starting to get it together, I guess. We'll see. Asgardia, the world's first space nation, takes flight. So there's, I guess concept art of how awesome it'll be to live in Asgardia.
Uh-huh.
That's another thing. That how is that going to go over? They'll never allow them to do that unless they bring it in somehow, you know?
Well, yeah, you'd either have to reveal your existence or, you know.
It's a pretty place, man.
Luckily, space is pretty big, so there's pretty much room for everybody. But they decided they're going to launch their first nanosat. So, on November 12, Asgardia cemented its presence in outer space by launching the Asgardia 1 satellite. It's roughly the size of a loaf of bread.
Does Thor live there?
Not yet, unless he's very, very small. Unless Thor
What about the actor that plays Thor in the movies? He's probably pretty rich. You think he's got a satellite home?
Maybe.
Called Asgardia?
Could he reincarnate as a gnome? And then he undertook it. So Nanosat took a 2-day journey from NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia, Wallops Island as we call it, to the International Space Station. It contains half a terabyte of data belonging to 18,000 of Asgardia's citizens, such as family photographs, as well as digital representations of the space nation's flag, coat of arms, and constitution. My flag.
My flags. So, are they still taking applications for citizenship, or are they beyond that at this point? Everybody who's going to buy in is
free
bought
to
in.
Free to join, and so far 114,000 people have signed up.
I thought there was a significant fee involved.
Oh, I'm sure.
I wonder how much that is.
Ashur Bailey, Russian scientist Dr. Igor Ashur Bailey, founded the world's first independent nation to operate in outer space in October 2016. They say the project's mission is to provide a peaceful society, offer easier access to space technologies, and protect Earth from space threats, such as asteroids and man-made debris in space. While Asgardia citizens will, for the time being, remain based on Earth, the satellite launch brings it one step closer to space. The Asgardia 1 made its journey to the ISS aboard the OA-8 Antares Cygnus, a NASA commercial cargo vehicle. Now it must wait about 3 weeks as vital supplies and scientific equipment are transferred from the NASA ship to the 6 people currently living at the ISS.
Ooh.
Nanosat will then be detached from the NASA vehicle and begin its own orbital journey around the Earth. Citizens' data will remain in orbit for between 5 and 18 months, typical lifespan of this type of satellite, and then it'll burn out and disappear.
All right, I was only half paying attention to you here because, buttons to click.
Yeah.
What data?
It's just pictures.
Pictures of what? Just whatever they want?
Family photos and, digital representations of the space nation's flag, coat of arms, and constitution.
Huh.
So
it's only half a terabyte of data?
Well, there's only 114,000 people who've signed up.
Right.
So.
I'd be like,
JPEGs don't take up much space.
Put all this music on there.
Seriously.
I mean, what exactly is the point of that?
I'm not really sure. I guess just to say we did it. Say there was enough people to... We have enough people to crowdfund a nanosat.
I mean, you gotta admit, the concept art is pretty dope. I'd live there.
Mm-hmm. It looks pretty Mass Effect to me. But, who knows? It'd be nice if somebody actually got something like that off the ground.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens. We've been keeping an eye on it this long. I'm sure we'll continue to keep an eye on it.
So, within 40 hours of the project being announced in 2016, over 100,000 people had applied for citizenship on Asgardia's website. After 3 weeks, it had 500,000 applicants. Anyone over 18 years of age with an email address, regardless of gender, nationality, race, religion, or whatever, or financial standing, can apply for citizenship, including ex-convicts, provided they are clear of charges at the time of application.
Well, they said 500,000 people, but they said there's only, 114,000 citizens?
Mm-hmm. So today, there are 114,000 Asgardians from 204 countries. A population drop from 211,000 in June when voting to determine the details of Asgardia's constitution began.
You think they're like space commies?
They could be. Only those who agreed to adopt the finalized constitution are counted as Asgardians. Turkey currently has the largest number, with over 16,500 people. Raven Sin, an artist based in Hong Kong, told CNN that she signed up to become an Asgardian in November 2016 after hearing about it on a Chinese radio show while she was in Toronto. I really want to be able to see if human beings are able to have more opportunity to express their opinions, she told CNN. The society we live in now, everything seems to be either capitalism or communism. There's a lot of conflict. As a human being, I would hope to see if we have other ways of living for a better life and for more options. Joan Spiro, a digital marketing assistant specialist who organizes a monthly meetup for Hong Kong-based Asgardians, told CNN it was a possibility of sending personal data into space that excited him. I mean, again, what does that really do if it's just up there for 6 months and then burns up in the atmosphere? I help translate and preserve Buddhist sutras as a hobby, and the symbolism of sending one of these religious texts in electronic form up to the heavens seemed very nice.
Is it magic? Is it a spell?
What's the difference?
Well, forget it, Dan.
No, Buddhist sutras? You could argue that they're spells.
No, I'm talking about the actual act of sending this data into space.
Yo, maybe that could actually very well be a spell. Makes sense to me.
Anyway, we got this UFO sighting that seems to be pretty interesting to me right now, right here. Watch the astonishing moment the UFO scatters clouds. All right. I'm going to cut right to the chase here. Boom. Boom. All right, so we're looking at a bright light through the clouds. It's just chilling. Doesn't seem to be getting larger or smaller.
I mean, it looks like there's a bubble of space expanding from around it.
I mean, gotta admit, I wish we can get a zoom that. I mean, but is that a? Could that be a planet or something?
It could be
It
Venus.
could just be coincidence that the clouds dissipated. And does it do anything besides just chill? No, we're not interested in the snakes. So, video uploaded to YouTube by Conspiracy Theory Channel Suspect Sky shows a strange white object moving upwards in the sky. The video, which was uploaded on November 17th, but apparently shot sometime in October, there was a lot of sightings in October, man.
Mm-hmm.
That sees the bright white UFO hover in the clouds. After sitting in the long, thin cloud for a few seconds, the craft, which looks similar to a star in the sky, I was thinking a planet,
Yeah, I was thinking Venus.
and then dispersed. Was Venus around in October? Where was this?
Yeah, in the mornings.
The video is on its way becoming viral after raking up more than 3,000 views in little more than 12 hours. I would hardly call that viral.
Yeah, we're playing fast and loose with the word viral here.
Many of the commenters on the video are convinced that the footage is genuine sighting of a UFO. Josh Hammond wrote, "That's some awesome footage, not only seeing a UFO, but seeing how it affects change the area around it. Great video, man." Another person, Foxy Leone, wrote, "I've also personally witnessed a UFO literally erasing a chem cloud. Rather nice of them." However, there were some viewers who were not convinced of its authenticity. One commenter was brutally honest in his assessment, writing, "Fakery at its best." Mr. Sudan president was also critical, stating, "It's fake." Come on, dude. I feel like I'm doing the news on Idiocracy right now, man.
You really are. Yeah, you don't know that's a thing in the sky. That could be a bird. You don't know that.
Oh, I like money.
Oh my god. A similar looking craft was also recently spotted over the Great Barrier Reef. Now I'm dyslexic too. An Australian woman, Jenny Morrison, took some pictures of the sunset over the Great Barrier Reef, and then she later reviewed the photographs. She noticed a bright orb-like craft moving slowly across the screen in the series of photographs of view above Fitzroy Island. That's a fucking bird. Damn, look at this picture. That's a bird.
No, not the bird. Let's scroll up. There's actually something above that.
Oh, my bad. Oh man, it looks like it looks like fucking some sinister eye in the sky. Look at it, the outline of it and shit. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get you. It's like this is the cover of an anime.
Yeah, it's all like.
The mystery then deepens when, in the later pics, the green dot disappears from the images.
I mean, it could have been a reflection from a satellite.
Experts are convinced it's a genuine UFO sighting. With the Daily Star reporting, one expert said, "This is utterly bizarre and cannot be explained. I would say it's an alien spaceship. This green dot?
Yeah.
Could be. Might not be, though. That's definitely a bird, though." Oh, my gosh. All right, let's take a look at their slideshow they got. Oh, isn't that interesting? What is that? I can't.
It looks like... I don't know. What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Sick!
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's definitely a thing.
It's definitely a thing in that picture. I can assure you, totally a thing. You know how I know? Because I'm fucking bionic, man.
Oh, yeah?
Bionic devices turn humans into super strong workers. Iron Man suits might not yet be commonplace, but companies...
While I have you here, I want to talk about
You shut your mouth. Talking. But companies from Ford to Lowe's, Ford and Lowe's really, are now testing mechanical exoskeletons to enhance and extend human strength. Sounds like what they were talking about when people were saying they were serving on Mars with exoskeletons and shit, man.
So,
and who else said that? Anthony Zender said that earlier.
That's the real question. Could this possibly be?
Apparently, it's possible
SSP
because
tech that's finally getting trickled down to Earth.
Quite possibly, man. Earlier this month, Ford said it was testing 4 models of exoskeleton arms to help ease fatigue for assembly line workers. 4.
It's 2017. I want my goddamn Honda Power Loader RS.
Hyundai last year announced it was working on a wearable robot suit. And Germany's Audi began testing robotic assist technology for production plants in 2015. Universities from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology to UC Berkeley are also developing technology, mostly inspired by potential medical use. So, which I think is bullshit, because MIT and Berkeley all fucking work for DARPA like a motherfucker.
Yeah, so it's not for medical use. It's for, being able to rip apart a fucking space scorpion with your bare hands.
The fucking telepathic spiders are a bitch, dog.
Mm-hmm.
My job entails working over my head, so when I get home, my back, neck, and shoulders usually hurt, said Paul Collins, an assembly line worker at Ford's Michigan assembly plant. In a statement released by Ford...
You sure complain a lot, Paul.
Since I started using the vest, I'm not as sore, and I have more energy to play with my grandsons when I get home. Dude, I want a Fedor, so I'll be at work, I'll be like, Fedor, timing belt. I'm out.
That'd be awesome.
The potential for expansion into other industries like construction or loading, it makes total sense, like, to use those exoskeletons for moving heavy loads, right?
Yeah.
You could totally get rid of the forklift with that.
Mm-hmm.
The potential for expansion in other industries like construction or loading and unloading of goods is becoming more realistic as scientists rethink older designs, Scientific American reported earlier this year. The global market for bionic devices may rise to $12.1 billion. So yeah, I mean, it's just exploding, dude. It's just going to keep exploding. And it makes sense that these car companies are on the forefront of it because they're already using tons of fucking robots in their factories.
Right. So it's Exobionics announced last week that it's providing technology to Ford a device called the Exo Vest, and its stock has climbed since then. That's even though it reported selling fewer units than some analysts expected when it released third quarter results earlier this month, and has a picture here of a gentleman wearing this cyber vest looking thing with some big old pipes coming off of his back, look like a xenomorph. It's kind of cool looking though. Not quite, the power loader from Alien yet.
No.
But it's a start. The fledgling company, which listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange last year, has $33.44 million in cash, which is enough to fund operations for more than a year, according to its quarterly filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commissions. Bionic device use in factories or any place a heavy lift is eased by a machine is an expansion of intense interest in use of the technology, especially for medical rehabilitation. Exo's GT product, for instance, is involved in 62 studies, touching on over 1,500 patients, according to the SEC filing. We find Exo's technologies to be innovative and believe that the long-term opportunity for medical exoskeletons remains compelling. Bruce Nudell, an analyst at SunTrust Robinson Humphrey. Well, Jesus, Captain Obvious here. Exo is hardly the only company developing exoskeletal products. Dozens of others are working on products for use in the medical industry and beyond it. About 3 others exist, including Rewalk Robotics and the much larger Parker Heffernan are working on new products. In October, Parker's Indigo exoskeleton was approved for expanded medical use, and Japan's Cyberdyne, fucking Cyberdyne Systems, there's the Cyberdyne Systems, buddy, said last week it's seeking...
wasn't Cyberdyne Systems the pedophiles?
No, you're thinking of DynCorp.
DynCorp.
That was Dianne Feinstein, wasn't it? But no, Cyberdyne was the shit from Terminator. Said last week it was seeking U.S. approval for assisted movement system.
Oh, yeah. You're awesome, Cyberdyne.
The T-1000 brought to you by Cyberdyne Systems.
So Phoenix, man, they're back up in there in the news again.
Them Phoenix lights.
The Phoenix lights, and we all remember that. Probably if you're listening to this, you remember that shit. Was like 97 or something, man. I remember watching it on TV while it was going on. Like, wow, fucking X-Files, dude. Anyway, the strange flash that lit up the Phoenix night sky. Unexplained light captured on security cameras. So let's check this out. I mean, it's another, award-winning piece of journalism from the Daily Mail, but we'll see what they got. A mysterious bright flash tore across the Phoenix sky last night, sparking fresh fears of UFOs and alien invaders. But it's likely the fireball was a tiny chunk of space rock burning up in our atmosphere. The remarkable object was spotted by numerous people in the area, with reports streaming in from Arizona and the surrounding states, including California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico.
Maybe it was a little care package from Oumuamua.
Let's see what the hubbub is about, huh? Two of them.
Yeah.
Meteor.
May they land on the heads of politicians.
Space junk or something, man. Unless all of a sudden now, none of these crafts that are flying around know how to fly anymore, and they're all just falling out of the fucking sky. Who knows? Maybe that's the case. But, I mean, I think that was probably a meteor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a meteor or space junk, either one.
The interesting thing about it, though, is, I wonder how much of this is just done to kind of discredit shit anyway, because what happened in Phoenix in the 90s was fucking incredible. The governor came out trying to make fun of it, saying it was nothing, and then turned around years later and said, nah, that's just for real.
Yeah, that wasn't
so,
nothing.
like, that whole thing, man, I mean, what is this? Just like a carefully crafted piece of fucking bullshit to make you think that it's all bullshit?
I mean, it just looks like,
It looks like a meteor. I mean, come on, man. People can't be that fucking stupid, right? It's obviously something falling out of the sky. It's not an alien craft zooming around.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, guys, don't get suckered into shit just because you want to believe, all right? It's like, just like fucking Mulder said, the truth is out there some fucking where. But don't just get hung up on whatever, man.
So, and speaking of award-winning pieces of journalism from the Daily Mail and things falling out of space, how can you really say that you expect this result within 20 years unless you already know some shit?
Right.
NASA expert says we will find alien life within 20 years as space agency outlines its search for extraterrestrials. NASA researcher predicts a good candidate for life could be found in 20 years. Experts are eyeing targets such as Enceladus and Europa as promising worlds. There are key signs to look out for, including liquid water and atmospheric gases.
What? Maybe it's got to do with a timeline of exploration craft that they have going there or something, because they're targeting moons in our system.
See, I don't think they're going to... I'm skeptical about finding other life in our solar system. And it damn sure isn't going to be intelligent life. Like, bacteria, tube worms, something like that. I could see that.
You're talking about that,
fish.
that is evolved there naturally or whatever?
Yeah. Stuff that's actually from there.
Right. Yeah, I think that, I don't know, man. Who knows, dude? Because there's a lot of that shit, man.
And I think that's
hidden from us, man. Who knows what could be going on, dude?
I think that life is gonna evolve under the right conditions and given enough time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things that would cause me to believe that maybe there could be something alive under the ice on Europa or Titan or Ganymede or any number of places. I'm not optimistic.
I mean, I don't know, dude. It's something that I don't think we'll ever know.
So they're saying alien life could be found within the next few decades, according to NASA. Again, never a straight answer, leading the exhaustive research. In recent years, capabilities have snowballed. The discovery of Pluto in 1930 was a once thought a once-in-a-lifetime feat. Yet not even 100 years later, over 3,500 exoplanets from thousands of star systems have since been located. So this really is an amazing time to be alive in terms of what we can begin to see out there. They just found a star, Ross 128b. It's a exoplanet around a red dwarf 11 light years away. The star's too dim to see with the naked eye. So, I mean, you can see it, but you can't see it. You know what I mean? It's not bright enough. But, it could have a very Earth-like planet traveling around it. But I digress. These guys say, experts say that the search is heavily guided by characteristics of our own planet, helping scientists weed out inhospitable worlds from those that may have promise for life. And again, they keep citing Enceladus and Europa.
Like they know already.
Yeah, which, I mean, granted, those are the best bets. I would say that Mars... I would be more excited about finding bacteria, subsurface bacteria on Mars.
No doubt, dude.
Because the methane clouds that come out of the surface there have to come from somewhere. So they say before we go looking for life, we're trying to figure out what kind of planets could have a climate that's conducive to life. Yeah, I think Mars is about as good as you're going to find besides Earth. We're using the same climate models that we use to project 21st century climate onto Earth to do simulations of specific exoplanets that have been discovered and hypothetical ones. There are many factors that contribute to a planet's potential habitability, including proximity to the star. This dictates whether the planet has the right conditions to sustain liquid water. If it's too close, too far, a surface could be dry or completely frozen. And from what's known about life here on Earth, water is key. So, I mean, yeah, it stands to reason we're going to look for planets that are about the same temperature as Earth, about the same size, have water, etc. And they say it's why scientists get excited about water spewing up from Europe. Again, with the Europa and Enceladus. We get it. Okay, you guys have a major hard-on for Europa and Enceladus.
Man, we do have a security alert for you guys. No, you're not being paranoid. Sites really are watching your every move. This is pretty interesting. I hadn't heard about these types of scripts yet, but apparently they're out there. If you have the uncomfortable sense someone is looking over your shoulder as you surf the web, you're not being paranoid. You don't have ghosts. A new study finds hundreds of sites, including Microsoft.com, Adobe.com, and GoDaddy.com, employ scripts that record visitors' keystrokes, mouse movements, and scrolling behavior in real time, even before the input is submitted or is later deleted. Session replay scripts are provided by third-party analytics services that are designed to help site operators better understand how visitors interact with their web properties and identify specific pages that are confusing or broken. As their name implies, the script allows the operators to reenact individual browsing sessions. Each click, input, and scroll can be recorded and later played back. Now, I wonder, does this mean that they can actually, like... Because you remember keyloggers back in the day.
Yeah.
The little executive file log all your keystrokes to steal your banking information, passwords, that kind of thing. So does this mean that you can make a keylogger on a web page now? Because think about it. You go to a web page, say a website gets through your pop-up blocker or whatever, right? And then it just executes that script real quick and then disappears but doesn't quit running. It starts running in the background. Now it's logging all your keystrokes from a web page. I mean, I would imagine it'd probably be easy to find out, like, who's doing it. But I don't know. That's pretty interesting, man. So a study published last week reported that 482 of the 50,000 most trafficked websites employ such scripts, usually with no clear disclosure. It's not always easy to detect sites that employ such scripts. The actual number is almost certainly higher, particularly among sites outside the top 50,000. Yeah, I mean, so there it is, man. You don't even have to send. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty crazy, man.
That is kind of mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Walgreens doing this? Damn, Walgreens, you gangsta.
You guys, son. I mean, you know, I'm sure for the most part they're using it, you know, for product sales and shit, like seeing what people's habits are, what they're looking at, you know, what they mouse over, trying to find out what, you know, what's shiny, what shiny is attracting people today or whatever.
Walgreens.com, for instance, sent medical conditions and prescriptions alongside usernames to Full Story despite extensive use of the manual redactions on the pharmacy site. Another example, the account page for clothing store Bonobos leaked full credit card details, character by character, as they were typed to Full Story. Adding insult to injury, Yandex, Hotjar, and SmartLook all offer dashboards that use unencrypted HTTP while subscribing publishers replay visitor sessions, even when the original sessions were protected by HTTPS. Representatives for both Walgreens and Bonobos have said that the sites have stopped sharing information with Full Story, according to reports from Motherboard and Wired. It's not clear what meaningful recourses internet users have for preventing the data collection. The researcher said that ad blockers can filter out some, but not all of the replay scripts. Checking the Do Not Track option built into some browsers also failed to stop the logging. That means every keystroke typed into a web field may be logged, character by character, even if the visitor later deletes the field and never presses the submit button.
Think about it. You might be getting ready to make a purchase and you put your credit card number in, and then you decide, hey, I don't want to make a purchase. You never click submit.
You know,
it doesn't matter. They still got your credit card number.
Yeah,
and then that goes into a database which gets hacked by fucking assholes in Russia.
You know, that makes me so mad. That makes me so angry that I just want to go run and jump out of the ship and down through a giant cloud of cyanide ice. That angry. Yeah, you ever been so mad you wanted to go swimming through a cloud of cyanide ice? Now you can.
That's quite possibly the stupidest thing I've heard you say today.
Yeah, well, you haven't hung out long enough then. So I guarantee I've said something stupider than that. But nevertheless, weird cyanide ice clouds explained on Saturn's moon, Titan. There's a giant icy cloud of, among other chemicals, cyanide, everyone's favorite, looming high above the south pole of Saturn's largest moon, Titan. And if that's not bad enough, the cloud's birth caused a cold snap that lasted 4 years long, according to a paper published in the journal Nature. This effect is so far unique in the solar system, and it is only possible because of Titan's exotic atmospheric chemistry. Lead author Nick Teenby, a planetary scientist at Britain's University of Bristol, said in a press release. However, just because it's the first time we've seen the phenomenon doesn't mean it will be the last. A similar process could be playing out in exoplanets beyond our solar system, according to Teenby. Titan, as Saturn's largest moon, has fascinated scientists ever since, well, especially, not ever since, but especially since, I'd say, Cassini. The spacecraft that recently met its end in Saturn's atmosphere plopped a lander named Huygens onto the moon in January of 2005. That mission let scientists see underneath the moon's thick planet-like atmosphere, a feature that no other moon in our solar system actually has. By wanting to peep below an atmosphere doesn't negate scientists' interest in studying the atmosphere itself, especially not when they start seeing something very strange happening in 2012, a sharp cooling at the moon's south pole where they'd expected to see a hot spot forming. The plot thickened when they realized that high-altitude clouds above the pole were actually full of hydrogen cyanide and benzene. Neither are really chemicals you really want to, spend a whole lot of time floating around in. Hydrogen cyanide can rapidly be fatal, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention explains, and has been used as a chemical weapon. Benzene is only slightly less nasty, it's flammable, and can cause cancer. Scientists couldn't figure out how these toxic clouds formed, particularly in a place where there should have been a heat wave. In the new paper, Teenby and his colleagues calculate that they could have been formed by a combination of long-wave radiative cooling and seasonally reduced exposure to sunlight, forming in a special type of atmospheric system called a polar vortex. Once the gases are trapped in that vortex, it's easier for them to stay isolated and therefore stay cold. The temperatures at Titan's South Pole have since rebounded, with the winter fading away last year after the vortex fell apart, but without good old Cassini there to tell us what's really going on, scientists just ain't gonna know. Which really makes me wonder, like, why did they have to go ahead and crash Cassini so soon?
It ran out of fuel.
I mean, aren't those plutonium batteries supposed to last for
like
forever?
A long fucking time, man.
Yeah, that thing should have been there, like, into perpetuity.
My gosh. Whoa. We were talking about this earlier, but we never got to it. Now we're going to get to it. What happened? The live stream went out?
No, it's refreshing.
Okay. Alien Madness. USA sees spat of crazy UFO sightings over the past 48 hours. And this was published on Monday. Yeah, you know what? I had someone close to me who said they saw something, sent me some pictures. And I think it was right around this time. Alright, so shocking UFO events over the last 48 hours include the sighting of 25 orbs, what looked like a flying bus, and a triangle UFO tailed by military helicopters. Events started in Texas on Saturday morning, according to reports received by the U.S. base MUFON. An unnamed witness filed a report about two high-speed bright lights in an undisclosed location. It said, "I was wide awake early Saturday morning. I looked up in the sky where I usually tend to and saw two bright non-flashing lights, similar to stars but slightly brighter. They caught my eye because they were both traveling north at a high rate of speed. They had a good distance apart, but were going the same exact speed. They were way too high to be airplanes and were going too fast. As they passed over, both started to dim and I lost sight. Next, a triangle UFO with central orange light was seen being tailed by military helicopters over Springfield, Missouri on a Saturday. There were 6 further UFO sightings reported to MUFON yesterday. A witness said they and a friend also saw 2 bright orbs over Plum City, Wisconsin on Sunday. They both watched as they discussed it on mobile phones. The report said, "I realized that what I was looking at was something that I had never seen before. Shocked, I stood there and watched the whole time, still talking with my friend on the cell phone as we both viewed the 2 orbs that were hovering in the sky, then one before the other dimmed out of sight. Hang up the phone and take a goddamn picture."
Seriously.
Yesterday, a witness in Grand Forks, North Dakota, also saw 2 bright lights. Their report said, "I'm still trying to figure out what these lights in the sky were. I'm in the city limits, but around 8:30, I saw 2 more stars moving in the sky. I just came inside right now to report that. What is it? I never heard about this from anyone else. It's amazing. I wish I had a good camera, or at least some night vision binoculars."
Oh.
That same night, a witness in Dover, Pennsylvania reported, "I was looking up at the stars and then noticed something bright shoot from a star up and disappear." In Hillsboro, Oregon, a witness claimed to see 6 objects below the clouds rotating around each other.
That's kind of zooey.
Oh, look, there's that video we watched earlier. Mysterious glowing UFO appears to scatter clouds. The report said, "My wife pointed out a group of lights, possible reflection of sunlight off the objects, which were ahead of us and underneath the cloud canopy. There were more than 6 objects rotating, diving, climbing around each other. MUFON has not released any footage, despite the couple claiming to video the event." Oh, okay. Guess that's why there's no pictures and shit. There's MUFON at it again. Like, only y'all are allowed to look at this shit, right? They said there were other witnesses and they saw a similar event in 2016. Yesterday, in broad daylight, 2 people claimed to have seen the bizarre spectacle of 25 blue or white bubble-like orbs with wings that were in formation together over Kansas City.
That's kind of weird.
Also in Missouri. Yeah, that bubble-like orbs with wings. I don't think I've ever heard about anything like that before, have you?
No.
These objects or orbs were kind of clear to blue in color. Oh, maybe it was the The blue avians. They initially looked to be big bubbles, and then my friend and I both noticed that these orbs had small wedge-like wings on them. Kind of like a bubble with a sharp V-shaped wings attached to the center of the orbs. They tried to film them, but the camera would not work, and they faded away. How convenient. So, I guess that would be like, what, some kind of field around the device, around the ship? And it's got wings. Could that be some of ours?
Possibly, but I don't know. That sounds weird. I've never heard of
Yeah, blue orbs with wings. Yeah. An equally bizarre sighting was reported by a couple in Mississippi. Their report said, "My boyfriend was driving along Goodman Road 302 through Horn Lake, DeSoto County, Mississippi, towards Olive Branch, DeSoto County, Mississippi. It was around midnight. I noticed lights in the sky coming from the southeast. We noticed the aircraft was flying very low and slow. It flew low and slow like a helicopter. However, we had the sunroof open and could hear no noise." You know, I've heard some rumors about anti-gravity helicopters. They look like helicopters, but they have an anti-gravity
That's pretty
engine in it. There were what appeared to be 4 orange-yellow lights on both sides, all spaced apart in a straight line. We both dismissed it as some secret military aircraft, probably headed to Memphis or some other airport. MUFON is one of the world's largest organizations dedicated to UFO research, and it keeps a database of global sightings and doesn't let anybody see a fucking thing. It is investigating these cases, but admits that most reports it received can be explained as a man-made aircraft or natural phenomena. Yeah, how about letting us make that fucking decision? How about letting the people that see it make the decision on whether or not it's real or man-made or natural?
Yep, that's a good question. So how about all this business with the F-15s? Was it aliens? And this is coming from express.co.uk. It's funny how all the British websites report on all this stuff.
It's like in Britain, UFOs just like everyday fucking...
They're used to it.
Yeah, our tabloids are full of like Brangelina screwing Jimmy Bob or whatever, and their tabloids are full of aliens.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, shock as U.S. Air Force scrambled a mystery UFO in skies near Area 51. So, I mean, how do you know if it's near Area 51?
This isn't the same story that we were talking about last week, was it?
Nope, not Alien Madness. But this one here says U.S. Air Force jets were scrambled to investigate a strange UFO detected in the skies near a military base before the aircraft mysteriously vanished. And, of course, they have this wonderfully photoshopped picture of a F-15 going up against a UFO.
Where did that go? Oh, I went to the wrong... No wonder. Where is it?
An unknown aircraft was spotted flying through the well-monitored airspace above Oregon State. Witnesses were left questioning where the jet may have come from and what it was doing. Military officials have been unable to identify the plane's origin or even destination after it vanished, and they were not able to trace it, dailystar.co.uk reports. Oregon borders Nevada, which is home to the mysterious...
You okay, Dan? You gonna die over there?
A little bit. Which is home to the mysterious and top-secret Area 51 U.S. Air Force Base, where tests are conducted on experimental craft. Conspiracy theorists believe Area 51 holds the remains of crashed UFOs and perhaps...
Nah, dude, aliens. That's a real picture. With a jet?
Yeah.
Somebody out there in the world believes that is a real picture.
Air Force F-15C interceptor fighters were launched in response to the sightings, according to local news reports. NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command, confirmed that it had been asked by the Federal Aviation Administration to help track the unidentified craft flying at heights regularly used by commercial aircraft, 35 and 40,000 feet. Fighter jets were scrambled from Portland to investigate but failed to find anything. No flight plan had been submitted for the craft, and no identification transponder was active. The craft was not transmitting collision avoidance signals. Air traffic control stations were repeatedly having difficulty following the craft on radar. What do you got over here, Don?
This is the video that's on the webpage. Oh, it's a Google Earth image?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, look at that shit, dude. That's fucking crazy, man. I guess maybe it could be. I don't know, dude. It does look like something casting a shadow, like above the ground casting a shadow. But I can see how that
I can't
white
really
out.
tell how far above.
Yeah, I can't. I could see how that whited out area could be something on the ground too, though.
Mm-hmm. Like a cluster of vegetation next to a big sandy spot.
Or a cloud, maybe? That guy's not a UFO.
Another, let's see, the F-15C Eagle interceptors have some of the most advanced combat search and tracking radars in the world. The incident left people wondering what the object could have been. In a debate on Reddit, some users speculated the object could be an alien UFO. One posted a literal UFO. Another one said, "Hey, I live in Eugene and I see UFOs all the time. Whether it be day or night, I could tell you some interesting stories to say the least. Eugene seems to be a hotbed of activity. Keep your eyes on the sky."
Eugene. Damn right.
A third added Central Oregon here. I could say the same thing about the things we've seen. Definitely weird. A fourth Reddit user who claimed to be a pilot in the air at the time said, "Strange, my theory is they were running drugs to Canada. No news yet, not that I could find." All right, so the drug cartels have, supersonic craft now? Zuli. He described how airliners have been asked to help track an unknown white-colored aircraft visually for up to 30 minutes as air traffic controller was having difficulty getting it fixed. When it was in sight of various airliner crews, it apparently never got close enough for its type to be identified. The last airplane had to see if it the last airplane to see if it had to descend into Portland and lost sight of it. The fighters are scrambled out of Portland, but flew around for a while and didn't find it, and that's that. So, mysterious white plane over Oregon. Maybe they got some new, what if Canada had its own version of Dark Fleet?
Well, that guy, Kevin Trimmel, he's going to be coming on the show sometime. We're still trying to get the computer upgrade going for the video thing, but maybe we'll get him on audio only sometime soon. But he says that when they picked him up for his 20 and back, or I guess he was in Solar Warden, that the triangle that picked him up was white.
Mm-hmm.
So which is pretty interesting to me because I hadn't heard of anything like that. Black triangles all day, you know what I mean? But not white triangles. It's pretty interesting. So, and it looks like we got people on Facebook complaining that we take too long of a break.
Yeah, well.
It wasn't 4 songs, man. Crazy ball. All right, so what we got
They're
next?
good songs.
Oh, human head transplant. And we posted this on Facebook, and it caused quite a stir.
But yeah, apparently, there's some guys trying to do a human head transplant.
Yeah. So, homeboys, they just did it on a cadaver now, right? Mm-hmm. But they showed that it was possible.
They claim it's a success. World's first human head transplant, a success. Controversial scientist claims. Italian surgeon Sergio Canavero said that a team had realized the first human head transplant. It's allegedly been performed on a corpse in an 18-hour operation which successfully connected the spine, nerves, and blood vessels of 2 people. The operation was carried out by a team led by Xiaoping Ren of Harvard Medical University, China, who last year successfully grafted the head of a body onto a monkey. Italian professor Sergio Canavero, director of the Turn Advanced Neuromodulation Group, who'd been working on the team, said that they would imminently move onto a living human who was paralyzed from the neck down.
Dude, take a look at this guy right here. Right?
He looks like Megamind.
Doesn't he look like he already had a human head transplant? That head is just way too big for that body, man. Maybe he's a Gray in an Edgar suit. So, yeah, I think the key takeaway from this here is that it looks like they're blocking it behind a paywall now. We waited too long to talk about it. The key takeaway is that a living human trial is imminent. So, there you go. You know, people walking around with heads, different heads that don't belong to their bodies. Well, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
If you could have anybody's, have your head grafted onto anyone's body, who would it be?
Well, I mean, it was like Tomas said, I don't know if he's still listening. I mean, it would be great for the transsexuals because they, instead of having like reconstructive surgery, they could just swap their head over to a... Could they do it with a dead body? Because the head is still living, right? The brain is still living.
I guess it depends on how fucked the body is, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe freshly dead. Or something. I don't know, this is sick. What the fuck are we talking about this for?
Yeah, I don't know. It's sick stuff.
Frankenstein. So what was this one little thing here I just want to, it's not really exopolitic related or anything, but it's kind of interesting here. Volvo to supply Uber with 24,000 self-driving SUVs for taxi fleet.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, outside of that, I'm sure no driver is better than half the drivers on the road out here. But think about it, man. In 10 years, dude, how many people are actually going to be driving? This is going to go real big in, like, congested cities like New York City and shit. Like, you're going to, like, walk down the street and you're just going to see a car driving by with nobody in it, man. Like, going to pick somebody up. Or you're going to need a ride home from the airport, so you call the robot car. It's fucking incredible, man. The pace of technology is just going. And it's interesting enough, too, that Volvo, I think it was in 2019, is going to completely stop making internal combustion engines. So it's all going to be, everything they make is going to be electronic in like a year or two. So I'm assuming this Uber fleet is going to be electronic too, as well as robotic. It's going to be pretty damn crazy to see that flying around. And then last week we talked about, or maybe the week before, the drone service in Dubai, where you call the taxi up, you call Uber up in Dubai, and it fucking flies to you and picks you up with nobody in it. Incredible leaps of technology, man. We do have one last bit of depressing news before we get on with the night. So now Amazon is openly working with the CIA.
So now everything you order on Amazon, they just give your shipping manifest right over to the feds.
So Amazon Web Services unveiled a cloud computing region for the CIA and other intelligence community agencies developed specifically to host secret classified data. So secret classified data for the United States government is going to be held by Amazon. Great. What could possibly go wrong with that, right? Amazon seems like credible.
Well, hell, they just want to let people into your house, so why don't we just link these two services up? That way we can just let the CIA into your house when you're not home.
So the AWS secret region will allow the 17 intelligence agencies to host, analyze, and run applications on government data classified at the secret level through the company's $600 million C2S contract, brokered several years ago with the CIA. AWS already provides a region for the intelligence community's top secret data. So I wonder if this is just turning Amazon into another cog of the CIA's mirror NSA.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Today we mark an important milestone as we launch the AWS Secret Region, said Teresa Carlson, Vice President of AWS Worldwide Public Sector. AWS now provides the U.S. intelligence community a commercial cloud capability across all classification levels. Unclassified, sensitive, secret, and top secret. But what about special access? Because if that's the case, somebody's going to break into Amazon and get all that special access shit. Please do that, guys.
Yeah, really. Help us out with our show prep.
Yeah, man. We need something. We're dying over here. We're talking about fucking corpses at the morgue getting head swapped. Transsexuals. What the fuck?
You gotta AWS, that's some crazy shit.
It is, man. And I wonder... AWS Secret Region is essentially its own commercial data center, air-gapped or shut off from the rest of the internet. CIA Chief Information Officer John Edwards views the new region as a key step in the commercial cloud computing technology that has already changed the way the IC handles data and addresses cybersecurity. So it's air-gapped, so I guess our buddies ain't hacking into it after all. Unless they get to the source. Get to the chopper! Alright, you have to find the computer and then do your thing.
Unless you could just have Fedor do it.
I mean, it goes on and on with all this technical details and shit. I'm not going to bore you with it.
Establishing cloud dominance.
If you're into that kind of thing, you can go to www.nextgov.com.
In Soviet America, cloud dominates you.
We got anything else before we head off for tonight?
The remains of Buddha is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like cremated remains? So how do they know it was Buddha? Shall we find out?
No. Yeah, we should. I mean, yeah.
Hey, also guys, we're gonna be making a blooper reel real soon, and it's gonna be fucking like 8 hours long. All right, so the Kansas City Star. Cremated remains unearthed in China are the Buddhas. Inscription says. Okay, so they're going off an inscription. Cremated human remains found inside a ceramic box in Jingchang County, China, might be those of the Buddha, though archaeologists have not confirmed that. An inscription says the remains were buried June 22nd, 1013, and belong to the Buddha, who is said to have lived from 563 BC to 483 BC. So they were hanging on to him for 500 years before they buried him. More than 260 Buddha statues were found buried near the remains, but researchers are not certain they were buried at the same time since the inscription does not mention them. Researchers noted this isn't the first time the remains of the Buddha, also known as Gautama Buddha, or I'm not even going to try that, have purportedly been found. Last year, archaeologists reported the discovery of a skull bone, thought to be from the Buddha, inside a stone chest in a crypt beneath the Buddhist temple in Nanjing, China. Well, what if there was more than one Buddha?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What if Buddha was actually a group of people who were teaching that?
Or like a title.
Had some kind of, or a title. A team of archaeologists led by Hong Wu, a research fellow at the Gansu Provincial Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology. It's a mouthful. I wonder what that sounds like in Mandarin. Wrote about these new findings in 2 articles recently translated into English and published in the Chinese Cultural Relics Journal. Live science reports. So I guess some cremated remains of Buddha discovered in Chinese village. I guess that's where they found it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to go on and keep talking about the same shit over and over again, so I'm not even going to bother with it. But if you are interested in reading the rest of that, it's up on the kansascitystar.com.
Wow, that's pretty far out.
Well. Sure is. Well, I mean, I guess that's pretty much wrapping it up for the week.
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's what we got.
You got anything else to add before we hit the road?
Not that I can think of, man.
Hey, guys out there watching, listening, whatever you're doing, appreciate it. We'll be back next week.
Thanks for being a part of things here with us.
And definitely shout out to the nice young lady that gave us a call to let us know that the audio was messed up. Because, sometimes we try to monitor the chat the best we can, but we ain't always on it 100%. And, pretty soon we'll have some more details on the 12-hour reality brief extravaganza. Be able to fill you in on that. And hopefully, soon, computer upgrades for multiple video guest extravaganzas. Believe me, I've got some pretty cool stuff in the works getting lined up, but just need to get them upgrades going. So appreciate you watching, guys, and we will see you again next week on Reality Brief.
Yep.